Hey, what's up guys? Jimbo back again with another knife review for you. Some of you may recall when I did my favorite knives of 2010 video where I showed you all the knives that I had purchased and carried in 2010 and told you what I liked about them and things of that nature. I had mentioned that I was really hoping that Spyderco would make a little big version of one of my favorite knives of 2010, the Spyderco Persistence. Still love this thing. Absolutely awesome knife. And I had mentioned that I wanted to make a quote-unquote little big version of the knife, which they have done for many knives in their series. And a lot of you had kind of rushed in to comment that they've already got one in the works called the Spyderco Ambitious and told me to check it out, which I did. And thank you all of you who made that comment and the suggestions. Thank you very much for that. I immediately checked it out and was very, very happy to be informed that they already had a knife like that in the works. So new for 2011, this just came out about a month and a half ago, we have the Spyderco Ambitious, the newest entry into their, we'll call it their affordable EDC line, or some people call it the Tenacious line since that was the first one. I just call it the budget Spydercos, you know, the ones that are actually made by Spyderco that are not any bird line, but ones that are made to the same specifications and same standards of quality that the rest of the Spyderco knives are. But yeah, I mean, I was totally overjoyed when I found out that they were making one of these, because to me that seemed like the next logical step in the line of knives. Since you started out with the Tenacious, which is the good kind of all-around knife, then you went and brought out something like the Persistence, which is a little bit smaller, and then they did the one which was much bigger, the Spyderco Resilience. So I was like, well, we need a baby bro in the family on this one. So here it is, the Spyderco Ambitious. I got this pretty much right when it came out. I had an email in basically the same hour or probably same 5 minutes that I found out this existed to White Mountain Knives, saying as soon as you get one, send me one. Money is on the way, and I'm very, very excited to get my hands on one of these. So let's go ahead and jump right into the review, and as always, let's bring the specifications to the front. Okay, the closed length on this little guy comes in at 3.59 inches. The blade length comes in at a roughly conservative 2.25 inches, 2.25 inches, giving it an overall length of 5.81 inches. The weight on this guy is a little bit hefty considering its size. It comes in at 3 ounces, which, considering, you know, this basically fits in the palm of my hand, and I do not have large hands. It's a little bit chunky in weight for its size, but I do not think that is a negative for this knife. As a matter of fact, it gives it the kind of rugged sturdiness that I think the knife should have. You know, much like the Persistence, the Resilience, and the Tenacious, you know, this is kind of like a rough and tumble sturdy knife, and I hope that they don't change that. Blade steel on this, same as its 3 big brothers, HCR 13 MOV, Chinese steel, very popular. Probably one of my favorite budget discount kind of steels, you know, for all-around ease of use. Not the best at edge retention, but it's very easy to sharpen. You just give it a few passes, and you're pretty much good to go. Typical Spyderco leaf-shaped blade on this one. Nothing really different on that. It's basically, I'll just bring in the Persistence here to show you what I mean. It's basically the same blade shape. It's just kind of chopped down. I mean, if you look at them, they're more or less identical. It's just this one on top is just a little bit smaller. But basically the same thing. Not that that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. Okay, blade thickness is 1/8 inch, which, you know, considering this is a little tiny knife, that's pretty sturdy, man. That's nice and thick. Look at that little guy. Nice thick blade right there. One of the big pluses for this is full flat ground. Again, like its 3 big brothers. You really can't go wrong with that particular type of blade geometry when it comes to slicing. I mean, it's just simple physics, guys. Full flat ground is pretty much paramount in overall slicing ability. You do sacrifice just a little bit of blade strength as compared to a good hollow grind, but given what I think is the overall intention of use for this knife, I do not think that that's going to be a big problem. This is basically just meant to be an everyday carry, you know, just small task stuff. You're not going to go, you know, beating down trees with this thing or anything. This for me is one that I can carry to work. I can carry it when I'm out and about. Good for, you know, hiking, minor camping tasks, things like that. I mean, this is just a great all-purpose knife. Okay, on the handle, we've got G10 scales. Nothing new there. I've made the remark that the G10 scales on the Persistence are pretty much the best example of all-around quality G10 that I've seen, meaning not too grippy, not too slippy. It basically walks the fine balance between the two, where when you hold it in your hand, you've got a decent amount of grip, but it's not eating up your pockets, which to me is what makes a good G10 handle scale with respect to an EDC knife. You know, pulling it in and out of your pockets doesn't destroy them. This is a liner lock, so you can see you get a decent sized liner there. Not quite halfway across as far as the lockup, but that's good. It's a little bit on the early side when it comes to the lockup, but very easy to close. So not bad whatsoever. This does have stainless steel liners that I think you can see the cutouts there. It is skeletonized to cut down the weight. Very good idea on that one. Since this is a 3-ounce knife, that's a good idea, you know, not let the weight get too out of control. Flow-through design, no backspacer on this guy. Pillar construction, Torx screws so you can take it apart. Of course, you got the standard lanyard hole there if you want to thread some 550 through there. And as always, like it's three older brothers, you got the left-right, tip up, tip down, 4-way adjustable pocket clip. They've got everyone with every preference covered on this one. God bless them. Good stuff. I'm a right side tip up person myself, of course. Probably the most common type of tip carry preference. As far as the deployment on this guy, standard Spyder hole. It's got the 1/2-inch hole on it. So you got a lot of real estate to work with to get your thumb in there and flip that sucker open. Of course, you can't always do the Spyderco drop. Flies open, no problems whatsoever there. Blade centering, little bit off center with this, guys. As you can see, it's a little bit over to the right. I have messed with the pivot screw on this, you know, to try and find the nice balance between ease of opening and to keep the blade as center as possible. And that's, on this particular one, that's about as centered as I can get it without making it too hard to open. I did drop some lube in there to kind of ease the joint on getting the opening through. Man, there's a lot of pocket lint in there. As you can see, I've really carried this thing. But yeah, that's the one complaint I'd have to give on it is right out of the box, the opening was really stiff. A lot stiffer than I remember my Spyderco Persistence being, which was more or less perfect right out of the box. But not really a big deal. Just, you know, a few flips, a few days of flipping this sucker open, doing some Spidey drops and a little bit of lube, and it loosened right up. No problems whatsoever. Okay, as far as the jimping, we got some jimping right here on the base of the spine, which is good because it's ramped. As you can see, it makes a little bit of an incline, so you can get a nice good bite on it there. And it's also got the jimping on the inside of the liner. Again, no different from its bigger brothers. But really important on this one is it almost seems like it's oversized jimping on this. Like the length of the jimping is almost bigger than you would think it would be on the knife. Because when you look at it, as compared to the Spyderco Persistence, it's more or less the same amount of jimping, even though you've got a significantly smaller knife here. Again, that is not a criticism on this, guys. I think that's a really good idea, because when you hold it, even though you've got a smaller knife, you got nice, good amount of jimping in there, so you can get a really, really good bite on it. It feels really, really great in your hand, even though this is a smaller knife. This is made in China. They do not offer this in any blade style other than this one, so just plain edge, no partial spider edge, no full spider edge. As of today on Spyderco's website, this is the only one available, but these are always the best sellers, so no surprise there. I'm sure at some point they'll probably offer this in a spider edge or maybe half spider edge, so if that's a little bit more to your liking, then just hold out. I'm sure Spyderco will have you covered. As you can see right there, we got bronze washers in the opening mechanism. Again, standard for this platform. Smooths out the opening. Nice polished pocket clip on there. That has the flow through for the lanyard hole. Really, really great idea. I've made that remark before in the Spyderco Delica review, but really a great idea on Spyderco's part to, you know, think outside the box and kind of make the pocket clip and the spider and the lanyard hole, excuse me, into one, you know, one facet of the knife. You know, not having to compromise one for the other. So great job on that one, Spyderco. Okay, lockup on this one, guys. Pretty solid. Nice solid click there. Liner clicks right into place. Show you a close up there. Nice solid lockup. Just a very, very small hint of blade play. Again, I have messed with the pivot screw on this to try and get the best combination between ease of opening and really solid lockup, and very, very, very tiny a bit of side to side, no up and down whatsoever. You know, it's such a small amount of blade play that it does not bother me whatsoever. It's definitely acceptable. All right, we'll do some size comparisons here. Mr. Spyderco Ambitious there in the middle. I apologize, I do not have a Spyderco Tenacious or Resilience, but I do have a Spyderco Persistence, so that should give you some sense of scale. Not quite half the size of it, but as you can see, the overall dimensions of it are just scaled down just a tad. Okay, let's get another Spyderco in there. Spyderco Delica. As you can see, a lot slimmer of a knife. This is a little bit chunkier in the handle. Old reliable Benchmade Mini Griptilian. Roughly the same size as far as the handle. That's pretty close, but this does have a significantly larger blade, which I will show you in just a second. But the Kershaw Scallion. And one more Kershaw, a half-ton, which in my opinion is very, very comparable as far as size, dimensions, and whatnot, and even in blade steel. And there's the Streamlight Microstream. As you can see, the half-ton and the Ambitious, very, very close. In fact, we'll switch these out. In overall size, the half-ton and the Ambitious are virtually the same. Take a look at that G10 handle right there. Nice fine scales on it. That little thumb ramp. Great jimping on that liner there. See the bronze washer inside there. Nice shiny polished pocket clip with the Spyder logo on there. You see all that pocket linen there. I'm putting this guy through some real use. See the jimping there. A nice thick blade. You can see the cutouts there in the liner. Okay, I'll show you the carry view here. Rocking the cargo pants today instead of jeans. It's right side tip up configuration right there. As you can see, it rides pretty low, you know, all things considered, since it doesn't have a what they call the looped or hooked pocket clip for ultra low concealment. But all things considered, that's a really comfortable ride. It doesn't really bother you, you know, when you get your hands in there in your pocket to grab out your wallet or whatnot, since I carry my wallet right here. Slides in and out, pretty darn easy. You know, doesn't tear up your pants because the G10 isn't overly aggressive. You know, just very, very comfortable, very well designed, very logical pocket clip. Just no real complaints I can make about it. I think it's great. And again, they've got everyone covered on this. You know, tip up, tip down, left or right. Whatever catches your fancy, this will work for you. Good job, Spyderco. Alright, let's do a little cutting demonstration. I have not had to resharpen this, guys. This is on the factory edge, and I've had this and carried this for probably about a solid month now. Pretty much every single day. So, and I've really been putting this guy through the paces and using it quite a bit actually. So we'll see how it does. Look at that. Try this side. A little bit of trouble getting the bite there. Outstanding heat treatment on this thing. Really great job, Spyderco. I can't believe after all this time it's still able to slice paper like that. I'm definitely impressed here. Good job, Spyderco. In conclusion, guys, I think the Spyderco Ambitious is a really great knife. It's really, in my opinion, the next logical step in the Ambitious, Tenacious, Resilience line. They got the little bro covered here for the folks who like smaller knives, you know, stuff that's office safe, and just people, you know, with smaller hands, or maybe, you know, the girls out there. This is a really great knife if you want to get your girlfriend into knives. For Spyderco, man, this is a really great starter, especially for the price point. Which leads me to the price point. At White Mountain Knives, this is $30 shipped, if I remember correctly. So we'll say it's like $25, you know, before shipping. Honestly, I think that's a little bit high. Not much. I'm not really saying that's going to break the bank or anything like that, but given that the Persistence is virtually the same price, and it's a slightly larger knife, or even the Tenacious is about the same price. Given that you're paying for less materials here, and it's basically the same materials, or rather it is the exact same materials as its bigger brothers, I think Spyderco could whittle the price down a little bit simply because they've got some competition when it comes to this style of knife. For example, the Kershaw Half-Ton, same blade steel, made in China. Again, a great knife. You guys know I love it. Really well made, excellent quality control, and that's only $10. This is 3 times that price. Another great example is CRKT Drifter in G10. That's like $17, $17, $18 shipped rather. Same blade steel, you got G10 on it. It doesn't have the up-down, left and right pocket clip and whatnot. So I'll give the advantage to the Ambitious on that one. But when it really comes down to it, that's like a $17 knife. This is a $30 knife. Is this twice the knife of the CRKJ Drifter? In my opinion, no. This is a great knife. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. I think it's an excellent entry into the Spyderco affordable EDC options. That's how I refer to it as. But I think they could whittle the price down a little bit. This needs to be closer to, a little bit closer to 20 bucks, given what you're paying for and the size of knife you're paying for. In my opinion, 23, 24 bucks shipped at the most. So basically 20 bucks before shipping. Again, great knife. I love it. I do not feel that I've been ripped off or anything like that from Spyderco. I just think that the price could be a little bit more logical given how much its older brothers are, and those are significantly larger knives. However, all things considered, price set aside, I can absolutely give this one the Mr. Jimbo Fox recommendation. This is a great asset to the Spyderco affordable EDC line. It's a great option for you guys out there like myself who sometimes just like a smaller EDC knife, something small and compact that you can carry into work and you can pull out and not freak people out, basically. So if any of you are out there are in the market for that particular type of knife, go ahead and check this one out. Again, it's 30 bucks shipped on whitemountainknives.com. You can save 10% off still, guys. Enter the discount code MJF. And again, it is free shipping in the continental United States, and they do ship overseas for very, very affordable rates. So please check them out. I want to thank everyone so much for the time, taking the time to watch this review. I hope you have found it informative. And if you were on the fence about this one either way, I hope it's helped you make a decision. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them in the fastest and best way I can. And as always, guys, stay fit, stay strong, stay supreme. Take care, guys.